Hi everybody, my name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author, and I'm here today to do the Metagore challenge. The Metagore challenge is a challenge that my friend D.L. Stewart came in celebration of his book that came out this week, and he kind of did it to talk about his characters, and he wanted to spread the word, and naturally I wanted in on that as well. His book is actually not the only one that has come out recently from one of my friends in the writing tribe that we have, my friend Alina Bokovolsky. I mispronounced that, really sorry. Also came out with a book which is kind of like an LGBTQ murder mystery. It was definitely had a very interesting kind of synopsis that was attached to it. So I'm going to link both of those books down below so that way you can go check them out. Would really encourage it. But I did want to do this challenge tag because I've actually never done a tag outside of the newbie author one. So definitely kind of very curious about this. And I'll put those rules down below because I would like to tag all of you who are creative into doing this as well. I mean, I know you want to talk about your world and your characters, so let's just use this as the opportunity that it is to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and we will jump straight into this. There are 8 questions in total. The first one is, who in your story comes across as the nice guy but they are just pretending? So that is going to be, I have to scroll down to find him. That's going to be Yuki. Yuki is a kitsune who works in the Two-Tailed Tavern. He is basically an information broker. He finds out things and he passes it on for the right amount of money. And the situation that happens in my book that's coming out in August, he kind of finds out that there's this weird trend that's happening, and when he looks into it, he realizes it's a lot bigger than what he thinks that he should be, looking into. So he ends up passing that kind of bucket to Ghost and basically says, this is a thing, somebody needs to look into it, and you're the only one that I know that can actually handle this. So he's, as you can tell from the expression that he has, he definitely is very sly. He's up to something. He's always been that way. But he's also very easy to talk to in that sense. And he's definitely got very interesting engagement and conversations with Ghost. It's very good. It's very good back and forth for them. So number 2 is, which character is the glue that holds everything together? So there's a couple of characters that do that. The first one, who I'm going to find, the first one is Aaron. So Aaron is the head magi for a basically a little wizard community of people referred to as the Oaken Staff. He is the youngest head magi ever. He did not ask for the job. He was told to take the job, and he hates the job. He really hates the job. Mostly because he feels like he's got to tell a whole bunch of people that are older than him what to do, and they're always talking down to him, and he's had it pretty much up to here. Very, very brash individual, very just kind of frank, and he's running out of fucks to give at this point. So he's a lot of fun. I actually really do like writing him. The other character that usually holds a lot of things together is going to be Vanya. So Vanya is a chimere who works at the Well of Knowledge, or rather he doesn't work there, he lives there. He is the head guy there. And he holds together my main character Ghost's world. He's definitely the keystone to making everything function for her. And he's also the person that kind of has to intervene when things get a little out of hand between her and the Pantheon. So he's a very good character too. The third guy, and he doesn't have a character sheet, but the third guy that holds a lot of things together is going to be Nicholas. And Nicholas works for an organization referred to as the Dark Table. And anytime tempers get high or things are starting to get irrational, he's able to kind of come in and just smooth it out so it goes together just as it needs to. He's a very calculating person. And I actually have a lot of fun writing him. He's really easy to write. Number 3 is, who is the character in your story that has the hardest time dealing with stressful situations? So that is going to be Silence. So Silence is a evilly possessed sword that just wants to stab the fuck out of everything. That's his personality. It kind of comes off as childish. He has a single motivation that he wants to do. And part of the reason he doesn't deal with stress very well is because he is a sentient sword. He doesn't have the same problems or the same issues that, you and I have. So, and he also doesn't understand things like, love and relationships, and that just goes straight over his head. Sometimes that has to be explained to him multiple times before he's like, okay, fine, I guess I get it. But when something that pertains to him that's very stressful happens, he loses it. He can't deal with it at all. In the one time in the book where he had to deal with something that was very stressful, he just wanted to run away. He was like, we should just go home. We're done with this. He's all ready to run away. He just can't deal with it at all. So, but he is one of the main characters. So it's basically Ghost and Silence. They're the main character of the story. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to watch him kind of deal with the suffering that I put him through. Number 4 is, which character is so focused on achieving their goals they would do whatever it took? That is going to be, where are you? That's Cauldron. So he will do whatever it takes to see the means to the end that he wants. He's a very interesting person, and I would like to talk more about him, but unfortunately it's very hard to talk about him without giving things away. But he is definitely somebody who, he's interesting because on one hand, this is somebody that I would totally have some whiskey and play a game of chess with, but on the other hand, if I knew that I was about to get in his way between the thing that he wanted to do, I would just leave, because I don't want to get between him. He's definitely like the bulldozer when stuff has to get done. Let's see, number 5, loyalty is an honorable characteristic. Who in your story would stay loyal no matter the cost? That's David. David Cooper. So David he's a very interesting person because he is a Chinese American. His father immigrated from China, got together with his mother. They all, he grew up in Vermont, and he joined the military when he became of age because he wanted to, do something more than what he was doing. And he did that until he was medically separated for PTSD after, a questionable incident. And then he ends up getting picked up by the Morgan to be the Avatar, and so he's kind of new to this whole thing that's going on in the world. He's new to all the magic, he's new to the world that he's walking into. But the moment that he decides that he's going to be loyal to somebody, it's pretty much a done deal until that person does something that betrays him. He picks his friends very carefully, and he definitely will stand by them and go in and fight in hell with them. I'm definitely very biased when it comes to David, not because he, is obviously the David, but because he comes from a military background. I went into the military. I was a military brat. I married my husband who was in the military. My father was in the military. So he kind of represents a lot of the things in the military that I really admired when I was growing up. So I'm biased towards him because he represents the ideal of the things that I used to really love, which loyalty and integrity and selflessness was always one of those big characteristics that came with that. So anyway, I'm done talking about David. Let's see, number 6, which of your characters feels like they have to be the life of the party? So I don't know if he feels like he has to be the life of the party. He just is the life of the party, and that's Goodfellow. So Goodfellow is a puck who belongs to the summer court of the Fae. He is he's very interesting. He's very fabulous. He's very flamboyant. He is all about having a good time. When he found out that selfies were a trending thing on social media, he was just all over that. He's definitely a character that plays a larger part in the second book that is going to be coming out. But he does have a fun little bit that he does in book 1. And I think what I really like about him is how he and Ghost are very contrast to each other. Ghost is kind of while Ghost is sassy and sarcastic, she's more sardonic if anything else, where Goodfellow is this bubbly person that kind of comes in and he's what, let's have some fun, and here I got this and that. They have a really good relationship, and I really do like writing him. He's just a great guy in general for me. Let's see, number 7 is, how many have to labor day to day to feed our families? Who is the hardest worker okay, so I misread that. Many of us have to labor day to day to feed our families. Who is the hardest worker in your story? So that is one of the 2 main characters. That is Ghost. Ghost is definitely one of the hardest working individuals in the book, whether she wanted to be that way or not. Just going to have to condense a lot of Norse mythology and the Poetic Edda a little bit, but in Norse mythology there's a place that's called the Well of Knowledge, and there used to be a guy that watched over it, but stuff happened and his head got removed from his shoulders. It's on a stick and it's talking next to Odin somewhere. But he did look after the Well of Knowledge, and the Well of Knowledge is a very powerful and it's a very dangerous place. It's basically where all the information to be found is going to be kept. And when that guy got basically his head removed, Vanya moved in to go take over and help out with it. But unfortunately, when you protect the well, you can't really leave it. It's not something that you can just kind of walk away from. So the Norse sent Ghost, who is a Valkyrie, basically to go and do the Gopher's things, that whatever Vanya needed, go for this, go for that, you know, make it all work. And as more things started to come to the well, you know, books, relics, tomes, stones, all that stuff, storage had to be made for that, and then the manor ended up being formed around the well, and unfortunately the manor doesn't just kind of manifest from magic itself, it needs substance, which means that Ghost has to bring things like wood and tiles and metals and all this other stuff, so that way as the well continues to, or the manor around the well continues to expand outwards, it has the material to do that with. And then of course like money became a thing, so she had to find work and she had to do trade, and currently she's working as an enforcer, which is kind of like magical police in a way, or law enforcers, or however you would like to do that. And she has a couple of reasons why she does that, but the main reason that she does it, or rather I should say the secondary reason she does it, is because she needs money. And you know, being an enforcer allows her to kind of pick and choose what she does want to do. And it kind of helps her have that means to an end. So that's pretty much summarizing that as best as I can. So let's do the final question. So the final question is, which character has the strongest passion for what they love? I don't have his character sheet. I'm looking at it now. I don't have his character sheet. This is going to be 7. 7 is a goblin who is also like this underground black market merchant person. If you need to find like a voodoo doll of somebody, or you know, the unicorn horn that nobody should be having, or any of that, 7, if he doesn't have it, can get it for you, and he's going to make you pay for it. 7 is absolutely passionate about doing all that business stuff. He likes doing business takeovers, he likes being that aggressive person. He's very cutthroat when it comes to kind of taking out his competitors, and but he does it because he likes doing it. He was actually, I think, one of the most fun characters for me to write next to Loki. 7 just kind of like popped off the page for me. The moment I wrote 7, I didn't really have to change him very much. You know, when I was going back and doing revisions, he was just perfect to me the way he was. But yeah, he's definitely a character that has a very strong passion for the whole business stuff and doing all of that stuff. It's a very interesting guy. I really hope I get to write more about him later on, because the way that he does things is definitely something that I would like to explore more as a writer. But that is pretty much going to be it, because there's 8 questions. Those are the 8 questions. So again, if you are a writer or a creative, I definitely want to tag you into doing this, mostly because I do want to hear more about the worlds that you are building and how you're kind of the characters that you have in them, along with obviously spreading the word that DL's book is out. Definitely want to do that too. But I'm going to have those questions down below for you, along with like the rules of engagement. Please feel free to tag me or DL in that, so we can look and comment on your videos as well. If you do that, please feel free to like leave a comment saying that you are going to, so I can kind of be on the lookout. If I'm not already subscribed to your channel, then I can subscribe and just kind of keep an eye out for it. But that's pretty much all I have for you today. If you would actually like to know more about my characters in regards to what I'm doing, I have a short story that you can get free access to if you sign up for a newsletter, and it kind of focuses a lot more on Ghost and Silence, and you can see how they interact and get a feel for them and see if it's something that you like. It also has, let me see if I can find him. It's got Azrael in it. Azrael's not in book 1, but Azrael's in all my short stories, and I really love writing Azrael. He's such a great guy. I think he's just great. But yeah, you can definitely take a look at that, see if the writing style is up your alley and all that. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed and you want to be, feel free to. If you want to be notified when I come out with videos, there's the bell icon. You can ring that. But I come out with on Monday and Friday, so I'm pretty typical on that. But that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a really good weekend.